so funny. Every time I'm supposed to do this video, somebody call me and cut off the video.
May I try to see? I have not been on live. Mitch is on live. Oh, jeez. I hope I'm on the right page. Oh, set me up on the right page. Oh, I'm on the right page. Okay. Two. Ah, boy. So I haven't done this live thing in a while. It's been no, somebody come with some disturbing news as usual. Always something. Let me see if I can share. Let me see if I can share this thing. Everybody share when I come up on the live that we can build this thing. Ah, boy, I wish somebody do something. I'm building a live. Building this. I don't know. People just do something. Sometimes you have to wonder. Like literally, people do some things you have to wonder sometimes. Why people do things? It don't make any sense, yo. It literally don't make no sense.
Okay.
Anyway, me there. You miss me. We miss. Yeah, me know you miss me badly. Me know you miss me. I've not been on live for a while. It's been a long time I haven't do live, and I'm not gonna say that I'm gonna be doing live every day, but I will be doing. I'll be doing some live at time to time as things change. You know, things changing in everybody's life, and I'm getting ready to go back on the road. As you guys see, we start to post some things today, and you know, God have been good so far, and I want to say, yeah, I want to say condolence to the people who have lost somebody through the hurricane in Jamaica. Rich and switch, no, me not rich and switch. It's just that me I do different things, and the different things I'm doing, me have to just stay focused on that. But when there's something going on, then I have to come on and talk to you guys. So I'm gonna try my best to do some more live, inform you guys of what's going on. And while I'm on the road traveling, still I go try to incorporate. You know what I mean? Some things when on the internet, boy, may I tell you that some people never want me put it at all. Some people never want me put it, but I'm on it. You understand? But I'm gonna try when I'm on the road. Sometimes I can do some live. And I start bring my laptop on when me there, like now I'm getting ready to go to the Caribbean again. I love the Caribbean, love traveling the Caribbean, love to go to different places, eat different food, see different things, the experience, you know, the luxury life, right? Yeah, my voice carry weight. Maybe not my voice carry weight. Oh, really? That's something new. But I just can't do certain things. Big up to all my bloggers, co-workers, them out there, oh me and then good. Big up to Chocolate and Vanilla. Big up to Dana. Big up to Elliot. Big up to Father Epic. Who else me if big up to? It's not that much a big up to anyway, guys. You know me not like me not like most of them. And me and most of them not get along, and me and most of them will never get along. So I'm doing different things. I'm doing my things, they're doing their things, they're on that side, I'm on that side. You understand me I say? Yes, I'm on different settings. Seeing? Yeah, me know the people homeless at Jamaica. Is so much going on, but only thing we have to do is just try to work together and try to see how we can build a better Jamaica. That's all we can do. But it's a lot going on. But we can't talk too much about that in this live. But I'm acknowledging that there's things is going on. So anyway, what I come tonight, we have a show. I haven't talked to Attorney Mitch in a long time. We have not hold a dialogue, and it's good that we can hold a dialogue. And the good thing with Mitch is that once me and Mitch talk about something, we pinpoint it and figure what is better for you as the public or what we can do to help. You know what I mean? And when there's information comes and all of that, we have to present it. And there's so much going on. Now, anybody that you know there right now that is in this country and document, and they're out there and they're been stressing out, don't know what they're gonna do with their money, do not know what they're gonna do with their car, their house, their asset, because not because you're undocumented in this country mean that you're nobody, you're somebody. Because some of the people that are undocumented in this country actually do better than the average person in America who have papers and all of that. So there's a lot of ins and out into this whole situation. So there's help here. There's an opportunity right now because there's so much people out that have been arrested, and being arrested and all of that, you lose. And you may not have nobody that you want to put your things into or put things into place, and then you end up go to jail and you get locked up. You want money for bail yourself out, you want money for lawyer, you want money for this, and your money is there, you can't touch it because you don't trust no one and all that because people are going steal your things or whatever it is. But when you have somebody that is reputable, that is willing to help you and all of that, I believe it's a great opportunity and it's a great thing to do. So we're going to bring on Mitch tonight because we have not spoken a while, and he's going to enlighten you on what this is about. And we're going to tell about some situation that happened to people I know, and it's still happening right now. Because you don't want to live in this country and you work and you buy one little house. Because people can buy a house and things with tax ID number. You buy a house and you spend 200, 300,000, and all of a sudden you're undocumented and you get arrested, and guess what happened? All your work for gone down the drain. It did it. People don't want to pay rent till eventually the bank come take it or whatever it is. You understand? We're in the Caribbean heading to. So right now I'm heading to BVI. Yeah, I'm heading to St. Thomas. I'm heading to Antigua. I'm heading to Anguilla. Anguilla. I am heading to St. Lucia, and I am also heading to St. Martin, if I call him. I am heading to Nassau, and I'm heading to Freeport, and we are actually heading to Jamaica. They have some stuff planning, and we're also heading to Bermuda in February, and we're also heading to England. So dates are out, and we're up and running on our ways. You see what I said? So let me add Mitch, because you know we all got things to do. Let me add Mitch. Oh, it's Mitch, you there? Oh, his mic is mute. I think Mitch mic is mute. Oh, he's on mute now. Oh, there you go.
There you
Oh,
go.
wow.
How you doing? Sorry about that.
Man, what's going on? We getting older, man. What's going on?
Yeah. Don't say it like that.
I
Doesn't
know.
sound great.
I know. Yeah, we haven't talked in a long time. For a couple, it was. I think I was seeing almost a year, probably a year or so,
Yeah,
or more.
yeah. Since we've actually done a show,
Yeah,
and you've
that's
told us you've been pushing for a long time for us to do one, but you were always traveling. My schedule was always booked up.
right. Yes, yeah. I've been pushing for the live and all of that, and I see that you do couple live, couple video and post it. But nevertheless, while I have the time now and you have the time and our schedule is good, we say, something come up of things that are happening to people here that are undocumented, and we spoke about it, and it is very sad. As I was enlightening them before about how people in this country is losing everything they have after they work all these years to build a dream and build legacy, and all of that is just taken away, and it don't have to be taken away if people smart and people make the right decision. And it's hard to find somebody to trust to say, okay, they may put a son, they may put a friend, they may put a daughter, or whosoever it is, and then they take everything, and then that person go back down to square one or whatever it is. But I'm glad that there's help on the way, and I'm glad that there's a solution for people that are undocumented and people that are also documented in this country, or you can help them legit. And people, like I always said, that with Mitch, I could put my head on the block that whatever it is that he said is gonna happen, right? He never fail, he will never fail, and he's always on point, and he's very honest. And that's why we're still doing these live for all these years, from 2014, 2015, long time.
If you keep praising me like this, my head's not going to fit on the screen.
No, you got to give praises when there's praises, because it's not everybody that you can bring on live and still working with them and give them praises till today.
Yeah. Well, let's back up a bit, because I haven't done a stream in a very, very long time. For a while, as a lot of people know, I was doing streams on Thursdays on your channel just to keep up with some of these videos while you were traveling. So a lot has changed, and I do want to apologize to people about that. A lot of people were wondering why I dropped out. There was so much work to do that I wasn't able to keep up both at the same time. But hopefully that'll be changing in the future as I bring on more staff. Essentially, a lot of the bigger changes that I want everyone to be aware of is that, first, as you know, they've been arresting everybody. It's just been their straightforward protocol. If you entered without a visa, you're guaranteed that they're going to pick you up at some point in time. That's their goal, is to try and hit everybody. Whether or not they can do that by the numbers, I'm not certain, but they've been proving me wrong for the past few months. I don't want to get into all the details of all the case law that's involved that's made this situation. But let's just say it really started in June, and it's been ramping up since August. I'm getting calls almost on a regular basis now. Even just today, we had 2 other people that we were working with who they both decided they're just going to give up and leave. Both of them have good cases, and they could stay here. They just don't want to put up the fight anymore. And $1,000 and being able to be out of prison is a lot nicer than not. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, if you have an active asylum case, if you're one of those individuals that filed, if you haven't heard from your paralegal, if you haven't heard from your agency, if you haven't heard from your attorney, reach out to them right now, because they should have improved your application and included a full written statement. If they don't, then the next time you go to court, they're going to terminate your application. And then if you have nothing else on the table, they're going to order you to be deported right there on the spot. That's the new thing that's been happening at the end of this month, beginning of this month. Sorry, end of last month, beginning of this month. We've been seeing loads and loads of people, one after the other, and it's been catching loads of attorneys off guard, because a lot of lawyers didn't know that this was the new trend. I know a lot of people in the courthouse, and so a few of them just informed me that, hey, so the last 10 days have just been people being deported, even with their attorneys right there, because they didn't beef up the asylum application. If you're in certain areas, they are doing divisions on the marriage applications. And so, for instance, if you're in New Jersey, specifically if you're in central New Jersey, you're getting sent to that Cranberry office, the new one they just opened up. They are splitting everybody up. Doesn't matter how good or how strong of a marriage you have, they are splitting people up left and right, and they're questioning them separately with incredibly difficult questions. So they're kind of going back to the old school method of doing things. It's incredibly difficult if you haven't been prepped, if you haven't worked with an attorney, or at least someone who's knowledgeable in the field. Strongly recommend you do that ahead of time. If you got caught up in one of those, reach out. Make sure that you speak to somebody, because again, the name of the game here is that they have a quota, and they're fast tracking people towards a detention and then eventually a removal. And most of these removals, Dr. Love, most of the removals are being purely based off of getting the person to give up. Because when you're in prison and when you can't get out, or jail as people like to call it, but irrelevant, when you're being detained and you can't get out, at this point it's basically prison, because they're not letting people out. You're cut off from the rest of the world. You're absolutely miserable. And the comfort of just going back to any place, even a place like one of my clients, he's been here since he was 1 year old. He's going back to a place he's never been to in his entire life. But he's like, that's way better than sitting here. He just can't handle the prison. And I have another client, same deal, hasn't been in his home country in 20 years. Doesn't matter. He's ready to bail out. A lot of them have people they can marry and things, ways to get back in, but the government doesn't care. All they're focusing on is how do I get my deportation numbers up? Because they're trying to be deporting people at about 3,000 per day is their goal.
Oh, wow.
So
3,000 per day. That's a so you mentioned before, I mean, the quarter that you say one of your clients have been here since he was 1 year old. Is it means that he did have documents or he didn't have documents?
didn't have documents. It's one of those, you know how people used to come in, but way back in the day.
Okay.
He came in using some, using other people's documents. But it was as a baby. It wasn't even his choice. He just showed up. I'm telling you, there's so many different ways I could win his case.
That's crazy that you come in as a baby, you've been here for all these years, and they're gonna just throw you out like that. I mean, that's
that's what, and what I was telling him too is this is completely different than what we had before. When we had Trump 1.0, he, the ICE officers would laugh and joke with me. I mean, if I had someone like him, they would just say, oh, we'll let him out probably next Monday, unless you want to do a bond. I mean, we would negotiate because they have no interest in removing him. But the game is different now. They're vindictive. They've had about 8 years of some vicious fights going on in Congress, as well as in the public eye. So they want revenge. And then secondly, they've got these heavy quotas. They got a quota they got to meet. And that's thousands per day have to be deported. They were already not meeting that number at the beginning of the year. And so they got reamed out for it.
It's just like the police at the end of the month, they always go out and give people ticket because they have the quota. So it's the same thing.
Yeah, it's the same thing, except this happened on the national stage. We have confirmations from newspapers, right? Cops are always telling us the quota doesn't exist. These guys, we saw them get yelled at, and everybody confirmed that they were getting yelled at for not reaching their quotas. So they are desperate to hit those numbers. That's why they're going to be doing every trick in the book that they can make. And so that's what had brought up the conversation. Remember, between you and me, we were just chatting about all these things that are going on. And you, of course, brought up that what's happening to these people when you're in detention, you can't get out. You don't have access to any of your assets now at this point, right? A lot of my clients have a hard time just paying their bills. I received a phone call from a girl. She's American, but her dad is from China, and they're just running a Chinese restaurant. But he also has his car. They're renting a house. Everything's in his name. The bank account with all of the money from the business is sitting in his name. And so now his daughter and his wife, after he gets picked up just trying to get milk, his daughter and wife suddenly don't have access to their bank account. They suddenly don't have access. The car is in his name. They can't transfer the car. They can't sell the car. The only thing they can do is fill up the gas, and that's it. Right? They're not going to get the inspection done. They're not getting it re-registered. So what's happening to all these people now is that they're realizing that their assets are completely out there. A lot of them are just sitting around waiting for them to get repoed. A lot of them, especially if it's a house or an apartment, it's just going to get foreclosed on. Eventually, the government's going to come and take the money in your bank account because someone's going to sue you for all the money that's due, and you can't touch your bank account. So that was when you were asking me, well, what would people do in this situation? Right.
That was I was actually because as you mentioned that one of the situation I brought up, and people, I hope you listen to this. It's very important because so most people know that I'm in the construction field, and there's a Spanish guy from Ecuador. He got about, I don't want to lie, I think he got maybe about 11 trucks. He got 6 houses. Is a 6 or 7 houses? Yeah, so 11 truck, 6 houses, and he got 18 guys that work for him. He does roofing. So think about being in this country and you got 11 trucks, construction truck that do roofing, and you got 7 houses, either 6 or 7 houses, and you got 18 guys work for you. Most of these guys don't have any paper. Some of them does. He, as the owner, does not have any paper because these Spanish sometimes they comes in just like everybody else and they overstay their time. he was pulled over. And when he pulled over and so forth, they test him and realized that he have alcohol in him and whatever it is. They locked him up. When they locked him up, he's incarcerated. He have a wife and he have a baby. His wife is also undocumented. His baby was born here. When they lock him up and all of that, they run through everything and then they deport him, just like Mitch said, they're deporting 3,000 people a day. That is true. And they send him back home. No, he did not tell them that he owns all these things, the trucks, and he have couple thousand in the bank. He never informed them because most people not going to inform them or whatever it is. And what people have to understand about Homeland Security, immigration sometimes, they don't go into investigation sometimes to worry about your asset. They're more worrying about, okay, lock you up and get you out of the country just to meet the court, and then later on they may find out, say, oh, well, John Brown got 2 houses, John Brown got 100,000 in the bank. No, you're not here in the country anymore. Your wife can't do nothing with the money in the bank. Your kid is underage, can't do nothing with the money. All the guys that work for you know you just tore a whole family apart because now they have no money to feed their family. They have no job. And they send you back home. And all the vehicle and stuff you have now is going to sit right there. The bank is going to take them back because if you're not paying some of the property is rental property. If the tenant decides that they're not paying you rent, the house is going to go into foreclosure and then the bank is going to take it. So all that asset that you have started going on one by one. The wife don't want to get involved in too much of it because she don't have any papers. And then now you are a millionaire or financially stable and then you got deported to your country. You may get a little bit of money there, but or you may not have anything there because you spend most of the time here. What happened to all your asset that you have? What happened to everything that you have? It is go to the state.
Right.
And it just go down the drain, and guess what happened? You've been removed from this country. So now you're in distress because there's a lot of Jamaicans in this country, and as a matter of fact, a lot of Caribbean in this country who own restaurant, own cars, own salon, own houses, own all kind of business, buy crypto like everybody else, get involved in the system in the way that just like a regular American citizen, got a tax ID number, and they're not documenting the country. And they may not want to put John Brown name on it because John Brown is gonna steal, or they may not put the dog or whatever it is. And then now you have all this money and all this asset and you're in this country undocumented. And then all of a sudden now you get arrested, and what's gonna happen to all your asset? All your asset is gonna go to the state. The state is going to take it. They're going to action it off, and there's nothing you can do about it because in their defense, you should not have it in the first place because you're not documenting the country. Not only that, is that while that is going on and so forth, you got arrested and you're in jail. You have money in the bank, but you can't get the money because you have been arrested. You can't send somebody in the bank to go take out money to draw 3,000 or 10,000 give to the lawyer because they're not on your account. And if you start to go to the ATM and draw money, random money, then it's gonna bring a red flag. The bank is gonna flag your account, and then no, you the lawyer need 5,000. You know, $600 per day or whatever it is, or maybe $1,000 per day. You can't get no more than that. So once money start to move like that, the bank is gonna flag it, and then you're stuck in a situation now where you're in jail. You can't draw the money. What are you gonna do? You can't send me to go to the bank and go draw the money. So you need somebody to be a part of your asset. You need to have a plan. You need to have it in a program. That means that if something happened, you have somebody you could depend on to take you out of that situation. And this is where Mitch is going to explain to you how you could do that. Don't be stupid. Don't be ignorant and say, well, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. Listen, if you go to jail and all the asset is out here and you don't put things into place, it's going to go to waste. Somebody's going to take it, and you're going to sit and watch your money and your house just go right in front of your face, and all you can do is cry and beg. It's not going to change because in their defense, you should not have it in the first place. So I'll let Mitch explain it to you. How does it come in? What he can do. It doesn't make a difference how old you are. You could be 70, you could be 60, you could be 30. This is a program that you need to make sure that when this program is ended, you take his number, call him, do your consultation. You have to be open to him and tell him what you have. What is your situation? because you may marry to someone that decided that they don't want to help you and you own everything, and guess what happened? They're just planning to take everything away from you. But when you have it in a trust and you have it in the right place, they cannot remove it, and you have
Right.
somebody to depend on. So that's where Mitch comes in, gonna tell you how that program
Right.
runs.
And just to add to that also, that it's not just the government could come and take it. It's usually going to be a creditor first. That's normally what we see is a creditor comes
Yes.
first, takes it because he's got a judgment, and then the government, of course, takes it for the creditor and uses it for the rest as well.
Yes.
So what we had come up with, what we had thought about was that what people should be getting is actually what we would call a trust account. So there's different ways of doing this. Our first concern is the fact that an individual isn't necessarily going to be trusting everybody around them with all of their assets, right? That's why you
Right.
don't put anyone on your bank account. You don't usually put people's name on your car because, as one banker once told me, it's basically a license to steal.
Yes.
Right. Once someone's just sitting there on your account, you don't know if they're going to hit hard times, or even if they don't mean to. Sometimes people can just come to sue you. And in one of my first jobs, that's what we did. Sued people, and then they can clean out your bank account. Instead, what you use is something called a trust. That is something that's set up as a separate body. We would call it a separate entity in the legal phrase. But I'm just saying, imagine it as another person. It is given what's known as an EIN. It's essentially an ID number by the IRS that's given to corporations.
Right.
So you're creating a separate person. You're creating a little miniature company whose only job is to hold on to your assets, to hold on to your property, whether it be, we're talking about your bank account, whether it be certain other valuable things like a stock or something else like that, your retirement fund, or even your car, or whatever the case may be. It's going to hold on to that. For a lot of people, it's honestly just their bank account. A lot of people just want to protect their bank account because they don't want anybody to grab hold of it. And then you assign somebody who's going to run it. Now, that person you assign could be you. It could be you and one other person. It doesn't matter. It could be your attorney. Doesn't matter. The whole point of it is that you now no longer own it, per se, right? It's now being held by this person, by this company that you created, and they can only use it in the way you tell them to use it.
Okay, so let me go back for a minute so they could understand. So you're saying that I have a house, I'm undocumented in the country, for example, or whether I'm documented or undocumented, and then it's just me alone on the house. So if it's just me alone on the house, it's not going to be good for me alone to be on it, right? It's good to put it in a trust, because if you got an EIN number and you take that house and you put it into that EIN number, which is like a business, no, it's not you alone on that house. You have a second person. That means if something happened, then that trust or that person, for example, can go in and they can make all the decision and then do what they need to do for you, as helping you through your situation. At least it won't be going to creditors or to the bank, right?
That's right. That's right. So the person, whoever it is that you decide to have run the trust or help you run the trust, their job is to make sure that your mortgage gets paid. Their job is to make sure that money is taken out of the bank account and given to your kids so that they're able to, get their books and their shoes and stuff. Or maybe it's given to the kid's mother so that the mother can go get because maybe the mother isn't responsible. But who cares, right? The trust can make sure that only the exact amount that you say should go to taking care of these kids comes out to take care of these kids. Maybe you got car payments. It makes sure that all the car payments go out, right? You're going to say, hey, you could be sitting in detention. You could be sitting in Guyana. It doesn't matter. You just make a phone call and you tell the person, I need this money transferred here and here. And they have to do it. And the bank has to let them do it. And if they did, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, and if they did anything different than what you prescribed, if you tell them that your mortgage has to be paid exactly on the 5th, and they decide to pay it on the 15th instead, all terror of the U.S. government reigns upon that person. Even though
Okay.
you're not actually a U.S. citizen, it doesn't matter. They are now actually being held to what we call a fiduciary duty. But basically, it's a higher legal standard where they
Right.
have to prove that everything they did was for your benefit, was according to what you told them to do.
Okay.
That's why
Oh,
it's taken very, very, very seriously. This is a tool. It's not actually typically used by people who don't have papers. It can be, but it's not.
right.
Most of the time, it's used by pretty much any U.S. citizen who's
Mhm.
trying to protect their property from
Right.
usually from taxes. Usually,
Oh,
if they're trying to get Medicaid, Medicare, it's to protect them from that. If they're trying to protect it from inheritance tax or something like that. So the most common people to use it is anybody rich. If you see anybody in the news that's worth anything more than $1 million, all of
mhm.
your favorite musicians, I don't care where they live, they
Mhm.
all have a trust. This is how they operate. They don't operate like you and me just walking into the bank. They use this trust instead. So we're
Oh,
using that now, but we're
mhm.
using it to protect ourselves when we're in a situation where we
Mhm.
can't access anything.
Okay. So therefore, then, people, if you're out there watching, let me give you another situation. So therefore, a man and woman live inside of a house, girlfriend and boyfriend, or wife and husband. The husband is either here undocumented or document, and the husband got 100,000. The husband don't feel comfortable to just put the wife name on the account just like that with his 100,000. That is 100,000 possibly be his kids' college money, possibly be retirement, whether it's husband or wife. So what he is sitting there trying to figure out what to do with the 100,000 because, oh well, I don't want to put her in my bank account because she's gonna take my money and go date another guy and then keep me away and I don't get nothing. Okay, well, if you've been sitting and stressing and worrying about that, now there's a different way. All you have to do, you put your stuff in a trust. If you put in a trust, then okay, well, your wife's supposed to get $500 a month. The trust is gonna give her the $500 a month she's supposed to get. So therefore, if she need 50,000, 20,000, she can't get 20,000 because the money is in a trust. She cannot touch it, right? There's rules, and if it touch and she managed to get 20,000 or 50,000, now she have a big problem with the law because she have just commit a crime. In other words, I broke a law for something that should not be that way. So I know that there's a lot of women have money and don't know, they don't want their husband or their boyfriend to be a part of it, or the boyfriend don't want the wife to be a part of it, or the kid is one of those bastard kid, I call it then, where the kid is just rude. The kid is not a kid that you want to work most of your life and give everything to that kid because that kid is just not worth it. So instead of you sit and worrying about, well, I'm going to take the kid off of this, I'm not going to give him this, take all your asset and dump it inside of a trust. And once you put it inside of a trust, then that's have that problem. You don't have to worry about that anymore because now you have your money, your asset have been set a certain way. So that's what Mitch is explaining to you guys. So it's not just undocumented, but we use the word undocumented because there's a lot of people here in this country who don't have any documents, who are very financially stable and doing excellent in finance, where they have money and they just don't know what to do. They say, okay, well, maybe I could take the plane and take 100,000 and go to Jamaica. And then you go to the airport, you get caught with 100,000, no, you lose the 100,000. Well, maybe I could just sell it out one time because if they hold me, I'm going to be in jail. Anyway. No, you don't need to think that way. So, Mitch, you could tell them the rest of it. And
Yeah. So no, you're absolutely right. And there's other benefits that come from this, right? You touched on already. If let's say you are undocumented, the benefit is that it's your insurance policy. Make sure that if anything happens, you have someone outside who you legally can trust to actually take care of everything and do what you say to move things around. If let's say you're a single lady, or if even let's say you're a married man, but you and your wife both don't have papers, so you're like, well, what happens if both of us get arrested? You now can be certain that your friend, your pastor, your attorney, your accountant, the choice is entirely up to you, is able to just sit there and jump into the situation and listen to your instructions to fix things. So that's one. But now, like you were saying, let's say you're a green card holder already. So you're feeling safe. You know, maybe nothing would go wrong. If something does go wrong and you end up detained, you don't have to worry about it. Or if you end up being stuck overseas because the green card expired or you did some sort of, again, no concern. But outside of immigration, you now still have tax potential as well.
Yes.
Because your trust is considered American. It's the best way I can put it without getting into all the legal terms of it, but it's considered to be American. Because it's American, taxes are going to be treated differently than it normally would have been if you were, say, a green card holder or even undocumented. And so, again, we'll discuss it with people further individually, and you can even talk to your accountants about it if you know one. They'll bring you through it. That this actually then adds extra benefits for you tax-wise, where there are certain taxes that you'd be able to avoid, certain places where you could end up saving money year by year just simply because you had set up this little bit of an insurance policy. And then finally, the same for the U.S. citizen. If you're a U.S. citizen, like I said, it is very common. Most people, once they reach a certain age, they typically set up a trust because they're trying to get access to Medicaid, Medicare, because there's certain other benefits that they would be able to obtain. So even from American citizen standpoint, there's mostly it's through tax avoidance. There's certain types of taxes that they'd be able to avoid if they just put their assets into a trust, if they just put their property in a trust. And so there's loads of other legal benefits that come. But as a result, though, you're not only just looking at undocumented people using this. You're looking at, even if, let's say, you're undocumented right now, but you're planning on becoming a U.S. citizen. You figured out that pathway. You're like, I'm going to get up to green card citizen within 5 years. I'm all in. So you've already gotten it done now. You've got your insurance policy set up, and then it's just serving a different function for you as you move your way up to citizenship. And then when you're at citizenship, you're already ahead of the game of everybody else. Most people try and set up a trust right before they need one, which is right before they need some type of medical protection or some type of inheritance or some other type of protection. If you talk to an estate planner, if you talk to our office as estate planners, which we do that as well, we'll give you the whole lecture of how you should have started this way sooner. But everyone waits until they're just about retired. You'll be ahead of the game. Everyone will be blown away that you've already set up your trust and you've got it sitting there and you're also comfortable using it at this point. But
actually, somebody just asked a question. They said, does this trust protect you from divorce? Very good question.
Very, very good question. So the answer to that is that it depends. In general, yes, it does. If you've got things in the trust pre-marriage, there's ways that the trust will make sure that the stuff that you have in there before your marriage stays in there. Because remember, you don't own it. Technically, under the law, it's not yours. You control it. No one's allowed to use it in any way that you don't say you can use it. It's this weird fake story that's been created where we're like, right, but you don't own it. And so that's why it's also used to protect people from lawsuits. If, let's say, you get in a big accident, a car accident or something like that, they clean out your insurance and then they come for you. If it's in a trust, again, it depends. There are exceptions. Most of the time, they can't touch it because as far as they're concerned, you don't own it. Legally, it's not yours. It has to be used in the way that the trust was set up for. So in general, for many people, that's a yes. And a lot of people also use it for that method as well.
So is it better to say, if you're in the process of getting married and you already have things already, not like you're hiding from your future husband or future wife, you should just put your stuff in a trust first before you get married?
Yeah. And again, this is where it's going to become if, right? Because judges aren't stupid. If they see that you're trying to do something to hide your property from someone right before you get married, they're going to want you to use a prenup or something else like that. But yeah, a lot of people will do that. Mostly you'll see parents doing this. If I want to give my son my best, whatever it happens to be, my grandmother's wedding ring or something else like that, it's not odd to see parents setting things up in a trust account for their children, right? And then that way they can make sure that the kid can only use the thing the way they want it. And so if his girlfriend's about to take him for a ride through the divorce court later on, they can, instead of having to just warn him, they also just have it restricted. And it
Right.
also becomes a perfect excuse. Loads of my clients that I've, when I've dealt with selling their houses or buying property or anything like that, that's always been one of the things they've brought up was that I think one of them, her dad had specifically told her, "You're just going to blame us every time that your husband says, 'Oh, why can't my name be on the house?' Just blame us because it's in a trust and it's not allowed. None of your names
Right.
on the house. The trust name's on the house, and only you're allowed to control the trust." So as a
Right.
result, no matter who she gets married to, this house, which was the family house, they immigrated here, worked their butts off to own one house. They're so proud of it. They want their daughter to have it, but they don't want some foolish man coming and taking it. The trust
Right.
protects them. Doesn't matter who she marries in the future. It's stuck in this trust, and she can't even be guilted to give it away to somebody.
You know, one of the things that I see people do, and I don't want anyone get it wrong. One of the things I see people do that go to church. A lot of guys, especially women, they go to a church and they've been going to that church for the last probably how much years they're going to the church. And they said, okay, well, you know what happened? I've been going to church and they've been working. They soon retire and they fall in love with the church and fall in love with their pastor so much that if the pastor tell them to run, they run. If the pastor said sleep, they sleep. Whatever the pastor tell them to do. And I know there's a lot of people watching me right now. They do. They say, well, you know what happened? I got a house, I got a car. I'm going to put it in my pastor name or my church name because if something happened to me, it's going to go to God. And they have family member that they could trust and they give it to the pastor or give it to the church and figure that, okay, when they pass on or whatever it is, the church is going to take it and they're going to do what they're supposed to do with it or whatever it is. Well, sometimes it goes to the pastor. It's the pastor only. If you give it to the pastor, it's the pastor. It's not for the church. It's different. You did not will it to the church. You will it to the pastor. The pastor himself already know about trust already. So he got his stuff into trust. Then he's going to take your stuff and put it into trust. And then he controls everything. And then he's going to pass on down to the generation of whatever it is while you have family member, while you have kids that you deprived away because you said that your pastor is your trust and your trust is just trust. So bringing this up is to say to you guys and the live that's watching, that's where Mitch is trying to explain to you guys how you can put your asset in place instead of making bad decision, poor decision, and decision because you believe so much that is going to go to the right places and all of that. So I hope you guys understand all of this and what he's trying to explain. That means when this live is finished, you guys could call him, do the consultation, and get stuff started and then get the trust done, right? So I hope I explained that to you guys what you need to do. So Mitch, you could finish tell them, you know, the rest of it.
Sure. Yeah. So essentially, what we came up with here is that this is probably the best protection that we can come up with in these uncertain times.
Right.
And uncertain even for lawyers. We learn at this point now, every attorney I know, and that's a lot of attorneys that I've been working with, we're learning on almost a week-to-week basis and even at times on a month-to-month if we're lucky. But most of the time we're learning on a week-to-week basis what new thing ICE has come up with to stay one step ahead of us.
Right.
This is one way that we're going to be able to at least stay 2 to 3 steps ahead of them. Their main goal right now is to arrest people who, as you know, have been here for years, have families, been paying taxes, doing everything right, to arrest them and to just make them miserable so they give up.
Right.
And I am telling you right now, the vast majority of people are giving up. The vast majority. So it's been a hard fight. We're still working ourselves on getting our own cases up. We're hoping to get something from either the higher courts, but really everyone knows it's got to be the Supreme Court that's got to come down and tell them to stop doing what they're doing right now. But it's going to take them years. And we're not even guaranteed that we'll make it there because every single time we look like we're about to get a win, our client gives up and signs out. And that's with every attorney I know. They're all just one after the, because no one wants to be in prison. So, and the big deal, a part of it is that they're just saying, while I'm in here, I got to earn money to send rent to my kids because I can't access any of my assets. Right. One guy was just like, if he could get out, he could sell his car. He's like, I know I have a buyer. It's a friend of mine. If I could get out right now, I could go sell that car to my friend. That'll carry my kids out for the next 5 months. But I can't. So I got to get out right now so I can start working back home and make some money to send over to these kids instead. And you're just stories like that break your heart because you're like, there had to be a way that they could have foreseen this coming. There had to be a way that we could have worked our way around this. Right. And thankfully, it wasn't until you brought it up, Dr. Love, to me that's actually the main problem. That if you can make people secure, then at that point, now we're already ready to protect them when they get arrested. Now money isn't an issue. Now, what's going to happen to my house? What's going to happen to my kid? All of that stuff goes away because you've got a trust. You've got a person. We're going to call it a company, whatever the case may be. Right. You've got this entity out there that's taking care of your stuff while you're not there. Right. Correct. Right. And that's what's important. And that's sort of what we're trying to get ahead to everyone. And then obviously it becomes something that you can use forever. You can use it to protect yourself from lawsuits. You can use it to protect yourself at times from divorce. You can use it to protect yourself from taxes. You can use it to protect yourself when you're going to die and you're seeking hospice or Medicare or Medicaid. And then most importantly, you can use it to protect all of the people in the future. Because a lot of people, like you were saying, if for instance, just with people that I know, I've known many people that have donated to our faith, to their own personal churches as well, and they've done it through a trust, and they've done it through wills. Right, it's a combination of a will and a trust that they've put together that makes sure it goes directly to the thing that they want, skips over all of the possible corruption that could cut it off, and make sure the actual source gets a hold of it. Right, no, go ahead. Yeah, and it's just it's incredibly valuable. And the fact that we've even found a use for it for everyone in this situation is what has both me and you, Dr. Love, so excited. Like I said, we were just chatting about it, and as soon as we thought of it, we're like, why isn't everyone doing this? This would save them so much. And then every step of the way it would, and there's an attorney that I also work with that we brought her onto the team a little bit ago. And when I brought it up to her, she had the exact same reaction as well on the phone. She's like, what? Why aren't we all doing this? This is absolutely brilliant. We should have done this ahead of time. With great minds, things alike, and I'm glad it is. But there's one thing. What if you take all your assets and put it in a trust and somebody's suing you? What happens if somebody's suing you? And say, for example, you get 100,000. You take the whole 100,000, you put it in a trust, but then somebody decide that they're going to sue you for whatever reason. What happened? It's always going to depend on the type of trust that you set up, the timing with when you put it in. I know this is really annoying when you're just trying to ask a yes or no question, but everything in the law, there's a million exceptions. There's tons of caveats. So just pretend I've already given you all the disclaimers. But essentially what happens is that when they go to sue you, if they win the lawsuit, they then are going to be given, you get an award, and the award's going to be, I get 75,000 of the 100,000 that you have, Dr. Love. Right. That's what the judge told me. So I'd say, okay, well, I'm coming to get my money. Now you need that 100,000 to survive. And so when I come racing in after I slipped and falled outside your house, it's got to be something petty. I slip and fall outside your house and I come racing in to get my money. So when I do that now, the judge is going to force you to release all of your bank accounts and everything that you own in your name. You're going to show them that maybe your car isn't being protected. So your car is outside of the trust, and maybe you have a bank account with $50 outside the trust. But everything else you own is inside that trust. Is inside of the right. Trust. And so if I'm looking now, that's all I'm going to see. And that's all the judge is going to see as well. But let's say I'm a bit savvy. Right. I bribed your girlfriend to tell me about the trust account. Now I know that everything's sitting in that trust. So I bring it up to the judge. He's got all this money sitting in the trust, Judge. Why don't I get a hold of that? And the judge will just tell me, well, that's not his. The trust right there, it says it. It's not his. The trust has a different name. The trust has its own, we're going to call it a social security number. The trust has its own social security number. The trust has someone else who's actually moving the money around and putting things through. That's not his money. What they can do is wait for that money to hit your bank account, right? Let's say, for instance, you order the trust account to give you $50 a month so that you can buy some groceries, right? All right. So every single time the $50 hits your bank account, now I can come and grab that 50. But let's say that $50 instead goes directly onto Amazon, for instance, or it goes directly to the landlord for your rent, or it goes directly to your car payments.
Right.
Well, then I don't get any of that because at no point did it touch your bank account. So it's this great extra shield that you have to work with.
Okay, so therefore, even if you got $1 million in the bank and somebody's suing you, if you tell the judge, well, Dr. Love got $1 million in the bank, the judge says, okay, well, you don't have $1 million in the bank. That's not his money. He only got $100 in his bank account. Do you want it? That's all you're gonna get. I keep my million, you get my $100, and I go my way and whatever it is. So I hope you guys understand what he's saying and the importance of a trust. And if majority of Caribbean people was putting their asset into trust, they will be a lot more successful and a lot better because the rich folks put everything in trust. Let's use the president, for example. Why do you think they can't get most of the stuff that Donald Trump have? Everything for Donald Trump is in a trust. Don't matter what it is. Diddy just went to jail. Why do you think they can't get Diddy money? Diddy money is in a trust. R. Kelly is in jail. R. Kelly money is in a trust. So R. Kelly, what he said, he's broke. I don't have no money. So if R. Kelly got 100,000 in the bank, that's all he has in the bank. He don't have any money. It's in a trust. So they have to hopefully that he would get some money from his trust to put in his regular bank that they could get it, and that probably never happened. So I hope you guys understand the importance of a trust. If you're in the Caribbean, you retire from the US, you got your house here, you have some asset here and all of that, and you just sitting there playing games with it. This is the better way for you to protect your asset. That means that you can live comfortable and live happy because your stuff is well protective. So your office is offering, so people, let's make it clear. His office is offering this service to you. Oh, something. We wait for him to come back. His office is offering this service to you. Not Dr. Love. I'm not a lawyer. Never went to school for it. I mean, if you want to put my name on something, you could put it on it. I'm a trust too. Oh, he's back. Okay, we got disconnected.
Yeah.
So your office is offering a trust. So how can they contact you? What will be the first step for you when they contact you to have your company and you as an attorney represent?
Right. So the best thing to do is you reach out to us at that phone number 212-233-2988. You can call us by phone. You can message us by WhatsApp. If you even want, you can go to our website, lairdlaw.org, and send us messages if you want that way. But really, the most direct method is to call us. If you call cold on WhatsApp, I would recommend that you leave a message, send us a text message afterwards, all right? Because it's a separate phone system. If we're talking to anybody else, we can't pick up your call at the same time. You know how WhatsApp works.
Right.
So that's the best way to reach out to us. What we're going to do is we're going to figure out what is the best way to protect you depending on your situation, right? If you're undocumented, if you have a green card, or if you're a citizen, or if you know someone who's undocumented, green card, it doesn't matter. And for many people, it's going to be the trust. For some people, it's going to be a special type of power of attorney, which we didn't get into this time. But for some of you, it's going to be just a special type of power of attorney that we're more than happy to talk to you about. And then I just need you to reach out. You know your life. So just tell me your life while you're on the phone. Try not to skip anything. Please try not to hide anything from us. Every phone call with us is confidential. I can't tell Dr. Love about it. I can't even tell him that you called.
Right.
Tell him
that has nothing to do with me. I don't want to hear nothing about it because, like I told him, I'm not an attorney. I don't need to involve in that personal stuff. I did the live. We talk about it. I bring it to you as my fans them out there, and then you take it up with the attorney and you and him figure that out. and I know that you're gonna be in good hands. So I won't know how much money you have. I won't know how rich you are. I won't know none of that because it's none of my business. I'm not a part of that, and that is, they would say, secret information that have nothing to do with me.
Right, right. So once you do that, once you divulge everything to us and we're able to come up with a plan for you, then we'll let you know what the plan is, and then that's it. Then we're off to the races and we start putting everything together.
Right. So everybody, gather all your asset now. Put all your asset. When you call the attorney, you gotta tell him everything. Everything. You gotta tell him what you have, what you're about to get. Well, you know that I was in a car accident and I'm about to get 500,000. Don't just get the $500,000 and go start a shop and buy Louis and buy shoes and all of that. Well, I will tell you all about that once Mitch is finished. Because, you know, my other part, I have to give it to this guys the way it is. So, what I want to ask you, Mitch, is what's the cost for them to call you for a consultation? And you have an office in New York and you have one in New Jersey. What would be the cost and what would be the arrangement?
Sure. So the cost for your fans have consistently been $100 now.
Okay.
And so they just call. It's $100 consultation. I generally try not to time limit my calls. I know a lot of other attorneys do that. I want to get everything out of you, and some people don't get comfortable after the first 15
Right.
minutes. So, you know, if we got to go 45, we got to go 45 just so that we can get all the information out.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so it's $100 people for a consultation. And if you're married, you can bring your partner with you because both of you have asset and both of you want to protect your asset, right? Especially if you got a husband who's very ruthless and a husband who's very not so careful with his asset. You want to bring him to let him sit down and you put everything together and all that because it's a way of, instead of to do a prenup, why get involved in it if you don't have to prenup? I feel like if you have to go do a prenup with somebody to get married, you don't need to get married. If you have to go through
Yeah. No, to be fair, there's a lot of undocumented people. You need to do some prenups. Some of you getting married right now, or if you're marrying someone who's undocumented, you probably need a prenup because there's, you know, we've seen those stories. But yeah, you're right. There's a lot of people where I've been doing prenups for tons of people, and people that have, like, you know, loads of money and no money at all. And that's always kind of my feeling afterwards. But I've been told by other attorneys, you're not supposed to say that out loud because then they don't hire you. I was like, if they're this nervous, then we should probably warn them ahead of time.
Exactly.
So they get into a lifetime commitment. Goodness me, was that worth the extra buck? Come on.
Right. So you see, it work it. So it's like $100 to pay for a consultation. If you don't want to talk on the phone, you could go see him in the office, sit down, talk to him, tell him all your asset, everything you have, whether you got a door, a window, whatever you have. Go sit down, talk to him, and tell him what you want to do, and he will sit down, talk to you, and make the best decision for you that you can have your things start. Instead of to have, you got 3 kids, and the 3 kids are fighting each other. You like that one don't like that one. And say, well, you have 2 daughters, you have 1 son, the son don't like the daughter don't like the son, and no, you worrying about what John is gonna do, what Kim is gonna do, and all that. How about you take all the asset and put it in a trust and put all of them on allowance and say, okay, this is where I'm putting it. So that means that John won't have to fight Maxine for anything because guess what? All your asset, both you and your husband or both you and your wife, asset is in a trust. So all your kids have an equal share. So if it's 100,000, you said, okay, it's going to be 5,000 a month. Each one of them get 5,000, or who get 5,000, who get 3,000. Everybody have a schedule of their money. And whatever they want to do with it, that's their business. But guess what happened? John won't take the 100,000 and go buy a house or go to DR or put in veneer teeth or whatever it is, and then all the money is gone and the other kids don't get the money. We just have that problem for you and all of that. That's the best way and the fair way. Nobody can kill nobody, because if John dead or Maxine dead, for whatever reason it is, guess what happened? Maxine only gonna get the $5,000 that was ordered to give her. That's it. She can't get no more than that. So guess what? Everybody get along as one big happy family because everybody is on the same level. So the number to call is going to be 212-233-2988 to call Mitch. Pay your $100, get your consultation. If you want to put in your citizenship, you want to file for your green card, you just got married, you know somebody incarcerated right now, and they need to get out and you don't have a good attorney. This is a good attorney that work all over the United States.
That's really important. If you have someone who's been detained, and thanks for reminding me about this. This is one of the new changes that we're facing. And this is only within the past few weeks. It has to be fast. We mean lightning fast. The second that you hear that he's been detained, give me a call immediately. Do not waste a second. Because there is a small window of time that we have a strong potential to get him out of prison.
Right.
If you miss that window, he's going to be transferred to Texas. He's getting sent to Louisiana. He's getting sent to Florida to Alligator Alcatraz. One way or the other, he's getting moved out of us, especially in the Northeast, but now even in the Midwest and the far West, because they're going to send him to where the judges are sympathetic to them and are going to allow them to keep people in prison. And the judges down south are very sympathetic to these guys. And so they are rushing our clients down to south of the border. So we just had someone that was arrested on Thursday. Her sister hired us the same day. Where we immediately filed bond same day. So everything happens on Thursday.
Wow.
And we're talking Monday, they already had him on the plane to send him down to Texas.
Oh, whoa.
Because they smelled us coming.
Whoa.
To get him out of there.
So therefore, if you know somebody just got arrested now, an hour ago, you need to contact a lawyer now. Because every minute that goes by, they're moving them around. And the windows maybe not there. And the next thing you know, they're back in the Caribbean somewhere. And it's a whole mess. So you need to jump and get an attorney now. And
do you know how I knew they were gonna move him? Because they arrested 42 people in New Jersey. Someone sent me the text message just this past week. I don't know if you saw the news story. They arrested 42 people.
I didn't follow it, but I know that they've been going to restaurant, they've been going to liquor store, they've been going to laundry. Home Depot. Even Home Depot parking lot, I see immigration in there. So they're everywhere and they're getting a group of people. As soon as they get them, they ship them out.
That's
so
it. With this was a raid. They hit the building, they raided it, they arrested 42 employees, yanked them out. And I was like, well, the only place to put them is Elizabeth. So I was just, well, my clients are all getting moved like tomorrow. And that's what happened. They threw them all on the plane, shipped them right out of there. It's now, New Jersey is now just the processing, the processing state. Because they're scared of losing here in court. Same with Massachusetts, Maine, New York. We're seeing it in every state. I don't care what state you're in. If you're outside the South, it's strong likelihood that your friend or family is going to be moved out within about 3 days. So you've got that tiny window to call up the attorney. We now have new techniques that we're using to stop them. And for those of us that are getting hired fast enough, it's working. And we're actually getting clients out. But the big problem is most of us aren't getting hired enough. Getting hired fast enough. But that can also happen when your family members have access to your bank account. When they're able to grab your money, when they're able to grab your resources, first thing they can do then is call up the attorney and say, hey, I got everything. We're ready to go. And then we go from there.
Right. Because now it is so dangerous for a lot of people is that they're not. And then as a matter of fact, while we're on that, if you're out there right now and you have to go to immigration and they deny your case before, your case come back up, your grandmother, your auntie, your boyfriend, your accountant fill out your immigration documents and they send it in and you got to go sit in front of immigration, especially they deny you before, especially your case look very shaky. You should not be walking in any Homeland Security building with accountants that do taxes. You should not walk in an immigration building with an aunt or a father or a husband or a brother that claim that he got his paper that way. They're going to take you and they're going to leave him and you're going to go in a room and then the next thing you'll be on a plane. So you need a lawyer. Okay. Anyway, sorry about that. So contact the immigration lawyer now. He will help you with your trust, your immigration case, getting your green card, getting your citizenship, getting everything done for you. Is a one-stop shop. One-stop shop. You don't have to go nowhere else. He will conquer everything for you, and you'll be very comfortable and very happy. And as I said, the number is 212-233-2988. You can WhatsApp, you can call. If you call and you don't get a message, leave a message. They will call you back. Give them some time to call you back because a million people is calling one time, right? You have any final word before you go, Mitch?
Yeah, just make sure that everyone stays safe out there. Keep up with all of the updates of what's changing in immigration. As you know, I've never been an alarmist. I'm always the one that's been telling you guys to stay calm. When Obama, again, when Trump, and again with Biden, I'm always the one that's saying don't get excited about things. This time we can actually get excited about stuff. So just make sure that you keep our contact number. If anything happens, reach out to us. If you have any problems, reach out to us. And otherwise, stay safe out there.
Yeah, and then before you go, there's one thing I want to adjust. Maybe you could tell them because they don't listen to me when I tell them. If you're illegal in the United States of America and don't have any papers, and you got ignorancy, and you're a bad man, you're a bad woman, or whatever it is, and you like to take your phone and go like this. You like to press video. Remember this. Whatever you do and post it on social media, it will use against you in the court of law and will use against you in immigration, in front of an immigration officer. They're going to say, well, this video said that you said that you don't give a F about America. Well, this video said that you was talking about this person was disabled, and this video said that you don't like the president, and this video said that you wish America would go away, and this video said, oh, I wish I was in Jamaica, I don't like America. It can use against you in front of immigration. So if you're illegal and don't have any documents, if you're gonna go on social media and say hi, what's going on and all of that, fine. But if you know that you have certain dirty behavior, leave the internet alone, because everything may be going perfect for you, and you go sit in front of immigration and they pull up your phone and show you a video that he was cursing out the president. Well, don't vote for Trump, I don't like him. Well, Trump is this and Trump is that, and the White House this and the White House that. And guess what happened? You just land yourself a free plane ticket and a free coffee and a free meal back home.
Yeah, it's very dangerous just to be posting anything. In general, now we recommend everyone, if you're applying for a visa, if you're here on a visa, if you're traveling, generally just do not post anything that you think might get you in trouble.
Right.
It's not worth it. It's not worth the clicks. It's not worth the likes. You're better off just keeping your head down and just stay out of politics. If you're not a citizen, it's best to just try and stay out of politics, at least publicly.
Yes.
But especially if you're doing things that you probably shouldn't be supposed to be doing, don't advertise that, because the amount of people who get caught, especially because their phones get checked at the border, their text messages, even just text messages that are being read by people at the border. We had people whose visitor visas were denied because they had just received a text message that implied they'd be watching their baby cousin while they were there for the summer. That was enough. ICE officers decided, well, then it sounds like you guys are here to work. I mean, these are teenage girls. They're not getting paid. It's just their aunt telling them that they got to help out around the house if they're going to be here for the summer. She literally said in the message, don't be lazy. You're going to actually have to pull your weight this summer. You girls are old enough now.
As a matter of fact, while we're on that, before you go, last thing, I know you don't recommend it, but going to the airport now and they're asking for real ID. People that does not have any documents are to stay here. If you got your passport from your country, and say for example you're in the US and you overstay your time. If you overstay your time and you got a visa in your passport, it's not expire. But remember that you overstay your time. So you came up for 1 month and you end up spend 6 months or 7 months and decide you're not going back. but you live in Jersey or New York and you want to go see your aunt or your kid in Florida. Flying through the airport is a risk, because here's the thing what a lot of people don't understand. Once you go to the airport and you give your passport is not a real ID to them. Your visa is a real ID, but not really a real ID because you overstay your time. So when they scan your passport in the system, every time your passport scan in the system in front of those TSA, it goes to another department, and you may be a target to say, well, okay, her name is Maxine, and she just scanned a Jamaican passport. Let's check her out because she may relate it to somebody named Kim with the same last name. And then they pull you. They come on the plane and pull you just for extra check. And when they realize that, okay, well, you came in last year, January, you're supposed to leave the 10th of January, but no, we're in November, you're still here. You overstay your time, and now you're flying to Florida and whatever it is and blah, blah, blah. I ask yourself, what if somebody told me about me? No, is your passport that prove that, okay, you does not have a real ID, but here's the thing, what happened with that? There is a problem. So in other words, if you know that you're not documented in this country right now at this moment, if you don't have to, leave airplane alone, leave airport alone. I would even go to the airport and buy Dunkin' Donut inside there if I know I'm not documented, because I may just get stopped in there. If you got to take a bus or whatever it is, or take, you know, you can take the risk if you want to, but it's very risky. So therefore, stay put, stay one place, try and figure out another way. If you see there's a little avenue that you probably can take a bus or a train or so and get away with it, then you can go for it. But the airport right now, I can tell you, I travel through the airport all the time. It is good and it is bad. It's very, very risky. And some of you like to get upset when you go to the airport when they tell you, let me check your bag. But I'm gonna tell them about it once you're off and all of that. But Mitch,
All right.
thank you so much for that, and we
No
will
problem.
do this again.
Very good. All right. It's good talking to you all.
Thank you. So, people, I am not trying to scare anyone, but if you know that you don't have a real ID and proper documents, stay away from the airport. I go to the airport all the time. I travel through the airport and I see the way TSA is. I see the way they come on plane and they take people off of the plane. And some of you are very ignorant, that you get ignorant with TSA, you get ignorant with the flight attendant. Let me tell you something. You have to be like a little puppy. You got to be calm. You got to sit down. You got to obey the rules. And then you won't have to bring attention to yourself. And I know some of you female love to bring attention to yourself. Well, I'm going to go to Miami because I got to go do my teeth, or I got to go do my breasts, or I got to do whatever it is. And some of you put yourself into a situation when you don't need to. But if you see there's a way that you can go and get away with it, go for it. But just be very, very careful traveling through the airport if you don't have to travel through the airport. I'm begging you guys, I'm pleading to you guys, I'm asking you guys, leave the airport alone. If you do, well, your boyfriend live further, you have to go down there and give him some sex because him down there, you know, see him in a long time. Well, something will have to happen. You're going to have to do it through the computer or do it through the phone or something, because that sex may lead you inside of a detention center. So you have to be careful. Plan what you're doing. Think about what you're doing, that you don't have to find yourself into a situation like that. So I'm warning you guys. We will do this again this week. We will there's sometime we're gonna post some video on live, and we will talk about this again. Hope you guys learned something today, and I wish you guys nothing but successful. Now, let me see. Okay, so I don't want to get in front of certain things, my friend, but you know what happened? People are gonna choose who they want to send their money to and whatever it is. And as far as I'm concerned, everybody is a thief. Majority of people is a thief, right? You can't tell a person where they're gonna what they should do with their money. I just hope that whatever money sent is used for the right place. You understand what I'm saying? So if they want to send it to the government, they're gonna do that. I can't tell them what to do, right? I would like some people to find local organization to send the money to. Like, if you want to send some money to Jamaica right now, you want to send food and stuff to somebody in Jamaica, to Westmoreland, Trelawney, or St. Elizabeth, I know that there's two people you can send the money to. The Rotary Club, which they're in partnership with Salvation Army. You can look it up, the Rotary Club. I look up Jenny. Jenny Foundation at 11 Ordane Avenue, I think, Kingston 11. You can call, you guys can reach out to me and I'll give you a number. Pack your barrel, put on the address, send it, because once it reaches Jenny, it's gonna reach to the right people. I'm sure about that. She not take no food and put in her house, and she not take the money. And you know, Jenny, everything she do, should do it publicly, and she have a good reputation for over the years. So if you want to donate and you want to help people down there, like in Westmoreland or wherever it is, and all of that, and you want to send a barrel to just give out to people and help, then Jenny Foundation and the Rotary Club, that those are the two people that I know that different that will make sure I get there. My number is 973-342-2487. 973-342-2487. That's my number that you can reach out to me, and then I'll give you the number. And if you know you're not going to do something, please don't waste my time. Because remember, I made the same Dr. Love see you, I will tell you on my mind. I don't know my mouth, I will tell on my mind. So please do not call me with the nonsense. Please, I'm begging you. Okay? If you know I'm nothing good for talk about, no call me with the foolishness. Okay? Me don't want to hear about no with the government who said hurricane and who this and who are wicked. I don't want to hear about it. I don't have no interest in it. So don't call me with it. I'm not interested in it. Okay? Thank you guys, and we will meet again. I will post a flyer so a Niger Boy show that's coming up. And you know it already. Big up on yourself. One love, Dr. Love to the world. Peace and out. Out and out.